G's up, this Big Trey D.
Lil Goldie Low.
And we the Eastsiders. Check us out on the Bootleg podcast.
Before we start the episode, man, I got to remind everybody that we are on the radio in 80 cities every single day across the country, man. Real 92.3 every day, Monday through Friday in Los Angeles. Wild 94.1 in Tampa. KKFR in Phoenix. We're all over the place. Miami, Vegas. We can go on and on. Want to give a shout out to our latest affiliate. Shout out to Knoxville, Tennessee, man. Hot 104.5 for being the latest city to join the Bootleg Kev Show network. All right. Now, I don't ever really talk about the radio show on the podcast. Keep them separate. But if you want to listen to the radio show, you can click the link in the bio for a list of all the cities you can listen to at. Yeah. Does that make sense? Let's get to the interview. Yo, Bootleg Kev Podcast. Special guests in here, man. Trey D and Goldie Low, the Eastsiders.
You know it.
They're back.
What's up, Bootleg?
Hey, man. So y'all just dropped this new EP. Now, is this the first body of work since like 01? Or y'all already you guys have been putting out some like independent shit, but
yeah, bunch of
in terms of like being under like back with Snoop officially, like in terms of like the paperwork and shit, like is this like y'all's first time like dropping with Snoop in that long?
Well, when I touched down in 2014, I did like 10 and a half. And I came home and we got together and did a mixtape. Matter of fact, we did That's My Work Volume 4 with Snoop Dogg. And we had dropped a single called Get You Right off of there, did a video to it and everything. And it was pretty well received, you know what I'm saying? Then we did our own thing. Dropped a few songs in the interim. We always, do shows with Dogg and all that. So,
for sure.
We always in the mix. But like you said, when we got in here, just having some brand new music out there, just letting the people feel us and know that we still, swing like that. That's a good feeling.
Like, I feel so old. I don't want to even talk about how old y'all feel. But when I was looking at the Spotify, because I like vividly remember going and buying the first album.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit came out in the year 2000. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 24 years ago. And some change.
We brought the millennium in, right, though.
And that was kind of like, you guys were kind of like what, like, I want to say like kind of kicked off like Snoop as like a label owner. I felt like you guys were like kind of like the first guys he was presenting as like, this is like my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was us and then the Doggy's Angels.
Doggy's Angels?
Yeah.
Yep. I remember Doggy's Angels.
Yeah, they came up behind us and then we dropped a second one. After them, we dropped Deuces and Trays, the old-fashioned one. Yeah.
What I love
we was working on our third one.
And then you got locked up?
Yeah.
Damn.
We did the movie. We did that movie too.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you guys remember about that time, like working on that first album, kind of knowing you? I mean, at the time, obviously, year 2000, Snoop's fucking, on top of the world. The No Limit shit's happening. You guys kind of being the face of his label. Like, what do you remember about that era of like you guys working on that first album?
Shit. You was brand new, Goldie. How I feel to you? Because I've been dibbing and dabbing on verse. I did with the Dog Pound. I fucked with
Because this was during the No Limit years, right?
Yeah, I was over
right
there
after.
really.
He had just dropped his No Limit the last meal.
Yeah.
And
shit was fun, man.
yeah, he came on after that.
It was fresh.
And then we had the hood behind us, so that really felt good because we represent two different sets in the hood. So to have our homeboys come together and start, partying together and hanging out together, that was a big accomplishment for us.
Yeah.
Because, prior to that, it was, just a lot of gunplay and, conflict every time, the two sides met up anywhere. So for us to bridge that gap, that was the biggest part of the Eastsiders project.
Was that like something that you guys knew was important? Like was Snoop kind of the catalyst to say, hey, we got to bring everybody together from Long Beach so you guys can move to like kind of together in the same way? Or was it just like y'all? It just happened.
We was
to be
already
that way?
moving like that as individuals,
right?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because Long Beach, we all either related or somehow anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
so,
can you put your mic up a little bit?
Yeah, so it just came about us us as individuals smashing for the city a certain way and being stand-up guys, you know.
He probably had the foresight that would happen by bringing us together. OG, me from my hood, young homie from his hood. You know, just that divide right there, just bridging that divide was probably something he conceived that would bring some healing about to the city, because he always been, pushing about the city. He ain't never been no divisive person or nothing like that.
For sure. I wonder, so around the year 2000, I'm trying to put myself in a time machine here. The fact you guys have an album out on Death Row, if you guys would have heard that in 2000, you guys would have been like, that's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Because around that time, Suge dropped The Chronic 2000. Right?
2001.
Remember Suge dropped like the weird Chronic 2000.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
There was a guy on.
Listen, you remember that logo?
Yeah,
do you guys remember there was a dude on that album who sounded just like Snoop Dogg when he rapped?
Yeah.
Top Dog.
Top Dog. He sounded just like
I remember
Snoop.
Top Dog.
Yeah.
So Suge dropped that album to kind of like stop any momentum that Dre had for the Chronic 2001.
Right.
Weird.
But it didn't.
But I'm saying like that was like a real like interesting time because at the time obviously Snoop and Suge are not seeing eye to eye. What was that like? Just like kind of being around for that kind of because that was like a very interesting time. Snoop's obviously he decided to go to No Limit. There's this weird Chronic album that drops. Chronic 2001's about to drop. I think it was out by 2000.
I think it did drop.
It was. I think it dropped in 2000. Yeah.
Okay.
Or 99. What was it? Fuzzy?
It was on out there.
Yeah.
It was on out there in them streets.
It was crazy.
It was on.
Yeah.
It was on and popping.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it wasn't no telling what was going to go down when we interacted with different cliques and crews like that. But, we was pushing with Dogg, so it was whatever with us.
Because you guys coming from the street side, and then there's like the street side mixed in with the rap side.
Yeah.
So it's like this label shit and
and you got to stand on what you stand on regardless because you can't say, oh, this is just some rap shit and handle that a different way than you would handle
the other shit.
Business on the other side. So yeah, it was wild, man. It was a very interesting time in hip hop.
And now you guys have a Death Row chain on. You have a project. I guess it's crazy how this guy bought Death Row.
Right,
right,
full circle. Yeah. It is.
And now you can get Death Row hard seltzers. You could get Death Row. I mean, there's the Death Row logo on fucking everything.
Cannabis.
You need some Death Row rims.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I got to see them.
I'm fucking with you. No,
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. Yeah, that's crazy though. That would be hard. Some label rims. That'd be some
rims,
new
like
shit.
everybody gets them.
Yeah, that'd be some new shit.
I knew the shit was coming though. I knew the shit was gonna happen.
Yeah. No, it's been dope to see, man. And I just love to see I have bought Doggy Style is the most important album in my lifetime. Changed my life.
That's heavy.
So I have like every piece of Doggy Style random. I got the jacket. I got the bump box. I got a boom box in my garage and stuff. I got every copy of the CD that ever was printed.
Yeah.
It's like that album really. That's my bucket list interviews. When I interview Snoop, I'm like, man, I wouldn't be here without you, buddy.
That's right.
I got Doggy Style because you remember back in the day, you used to get in the magazines, you would be able to order like 15 CDs for a penny.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
And my grandma got Doggy Style on accident in the mail. I was like 5, and she gave it to me because she was an old lady, and she just saw a cartoon on the front. And I learned that whole shit. And by the time my mom found out what I was listening to, I already knew the whole shit by heart. She took the tape, but it was too late.
You beat on the table and rap all the shit up.
To me, it's just, there's Doggy Style and then everything else.
Right. It would be, too, just getting familiar with it at that impressionable age.
And just the skits, I'm like, man, the skits, you feel like you was there. You know what I'm saying?
Unreal.
The beginning of Murder Was the Case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go back and listen to all Dr. Dre productions, though, he's one of the masters of skits. He always inject, some humor or some,
it's a lost
social
art form,
commentary.
like using skits on albums, I feel
like scratching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and the DJ, the call and response with the, the back and forth, or you say something when you leave a word out and the DJ fill it in with the scratching or something. Yes, it's hip hop is going in a whole different direction.
Talk about this new project still, Easty. How long were you guys working on it? Are these songs is it a mixture of older stuff you guys had, or was this all new stuff you guys?
All new shit.
Yeah,
all new.
What inspired it to be like time to finally like let's do an EP, let's get together, let's make some shit?
Well, we had been in there with him. We had been in the lab with him a couple of times, planning on dropping some Eastsider shit. But you know, scheduling is always a motherfucking. And when you're dealing with the largest
One of
presence
the most famous human beings on
in
the planet.
hip hop, you know what I mean? You know, it's hard to lock him down for a particular time to get it done. But he let us know after he was producing the Dog Pounds album. He was like, you know, I'm only gonna have this window, man, and I need y'all to, you know, give me something, you know, so we can get together and, you know, do some world tours and shit next year, you know, and all that with the family, you know, the Dog House, Dog Pound family, Death Row. And I think we put this together in about 10 days.
Well, I was about to say the Dog Pound album just dropped recently, right? So,
Yeah.
So you guys really cooked this thing up.
Oh yeah, we fell in there and went right to work.
Well, we was already kind of working on it. You know what I mean? And then we came back to
Finished them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just once the Going Down, the song with Battle Cat, we had did that already, but we hadn't spearheaded it for no particular project.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was something that we was going to add to the catalog of things we was doing and then build something from there. But
in the midst of helping Snoop with the NFT music, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Got to give a shout out to my bookie. Let's stop this interview real quick because, man, we're in the middle of football season. NBA season just kicked off, and I'm telling you this, go to mybookie.ag right now and get yourself an account, because if you ain't betting on MyBookie, I don't know what you're doing. You can get in on all the action. When you go to mybookie.ag, use the promo code BOOTLEG. When you sign up, you're going to get that first deposit bonus, doubling your first deposit. That's how it goes. It's a movie. Trust me, all right? NBA, I'm going to just say this. If I'm going to bet MVP this year, I like the odds on Kevin Durant right now. I do. I also like the fact that my Phoenix Suns are having a nice start to the season. NFL season's still rumbling, all right? Playoffs are kind of starting to shape up. We're about halfway through the season. You can bet baseball. You can bet football. You can bet NBA. You can bet college football. You can do it all. Plus, they got the live casino blackjack, roulette. They got the slots, all of it. MyBookie.ag, promo code BOOTLEG when you sign up for that new account. Also, speaking of signing up, why don't we sign up for some Blue Chew? A lot of people keep asking me, does Blue Chew work? Of course it does. It does work. Yes. Is the country divided? Yeah. And Blue Chew works. Two things we can definitely say are the truth. And I'll say this, though, man. Everybody in this country can agree that Blue Chew will make your dick a lot harder. So what I need y'all to do is go to BlueChew.com right now, use the promo code BOOTLEG, and find out for yourself, because you're going to get a month's supply for free. Now, what is Blue Chew? Same active ingredient as Cialis and Viagra, but it's all in a nice chewable form, and it's delivered right to your door discreetly. And the best part about Blue Chew, my favorite part about Blue Chew, is you don't have to go to the doctor. You just do it all online. It's all online. You don't have any awkward doctor's visits. So if you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, maybe you need a little extra pep in your step, you want to make sure your dick is dicking as much as it can be dicking. Maybe, you know, bruh, ain't nothing like that Blue Chew boner in the morning. Let me just say, look, go to BlueChew.com, promo code BOOTLEG, and get a month's supply for free, just $5 shipping. Let's get back to the interview. What's it like working with the October guy? October London is like, I feel like I always tell people, like, Snoop got this guy, he sounds like he's from like fucking 1979. Like he's making real R&B.
Yeah.
Like he's making like real dope R&B music that's like been missing.
Bad man.
Yeah, he's cold.
Yeah, bad man.
Shout out to him.
He knocked that hook out, like he knocked that chorus out just like in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? He felt the song and he went there and laid the chorus down, and in the midst of us recording, I think we did about 3 or 4 songs one day. I think Goldie did 4, I did 3, because Goldie it was a verse. I think he had to do Gangstafied. So he had to get back on there. So we was just recording one day, just back to back, and he slid that track to London, and London hit us back with that, and it was just go. Yeah. You know, it was go.
I wonder, you guys had Mobb Deep on your second project. What was it like? Because around that time, it's like 01, so I mean, the East Coast, West Coast shit's kind of over with at that point in time. Mm-hmm. whose idea was it to work with Mobb Deep? And, obviously Prodigy, rest in peace to him, one of the GOATs. I thought that was dope.
That was Snoop Dogg's idea. And we had did a song called "Thou Shalt Not Kill" with Mobb Deep when they was doing murder music. I was out there with Dogg, and I wrote a verse, and he was like, Prodigy was like, "What's up? You getting on the cut?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'm getting on it. I'm welcome." So he was like, "Man, drop your shit." He was like, "Let me hear it." He like, "Man, drop that shit." So we had a relationship.
So you was already in the studio with Prodigy?
Yeah, I'd been in the studio with him before. And
Yeah.
then I got him on one of my subsequent albums on a song called General Salute. Me, him,
So
and
you guys had a
Technique from
dope...
the LBC
That's
crew.
hard.
So we had that rapport, and then I guess Dogg wanted to give us some East Coast flavor on the second album as well, because it was straight West on the first one. And that was a group that he called on. We was in the studio. DJ Premier came through. I think we did. Did we do a song with Lil Mo that night too?
Damn sure did.
Yeah. So we was. I forget what studio we was in.
I always feel like Snoop was like kind of like the guy who was like pretty level headed throughout all that, because he had a lot of like love for the East Coast, and like had a lot of relationships with a lot of those artists, and so. And like you said, like shit, that had to be crazy just working with Prodigy.
Yeah, we was moving around
premiere
like
around
that
and
too.
shit. Like that's
yeah,
crazy.
we was really moving around with Snoop as well, like that too, building relationships.
Yeah.
And it just came about.
You guys have a lot of music with Nate, who I feel like we still haven't necessarily. I mean, there's been artists who have come that have had like their grips on being the it hook guy in hip hop,
Right.
Ty Dolla $ign or Akon, T-Pain, etc. But I just feel like they ain't never been the same since Nate passed away.
Right.
His son is really dope too, and Hale is dope and sounds very similar.
That's nephew. Yeah.
But what can you tell me? Because you guys do have a lot of records with Nate. What was it like just working with him? And what was his writing process like?
Well, Nate added his own essence to the song. He directed songs more or less. When he laid the hook, you was just expected to follow what he laid. He wouldn't come in and be like, "So what we talking about today?" Or he would feel the track like most of us do, and he would just do his thing, and everybody would just follow suit, because when they get on the track, it's pretty much a rap. So it was always a pleasure, man. I worked with him at his house, worked with him in different studios. I was on his first album, G-Funk Classics, Volume 1, The Bag of Weed. So I've been out to his people's house with him in Clarksdale, Mississippi a couple of times. So Nate was a good friend of mine, as well as a colleague, a peer, DPGC member. He was dope, man. He was just dope all around, and he wasn't no joke.
What was there like? Because I feel like we didn't see a lot of like Nate Dogg interviews, because he was kind of like, he kind of felt like an introvert a little bit.
He did.
Like he wasn't out there like everybody else.
Right.
Like,
but he knew he was a bad motherfucker.
Well, I mean, of course.
That's what he did.
Was there anything about like him that you think people didn't really know about? Like, because he seemed like, I feel like I only saw him in music videos. I didn't see a lot of interviews with him and shit. Like, he always felt like he was playing the cut,
Nate was just a solid dude, man. He was a gangster in his heart. He wasn't gonna let nobody play with him. He loved the women. You get in the limo with Nate, and there'd be 8 women in there, like, these all mine.
Damn.
So that's Nate was a player to the heart, man.
I don't even think they had Viagra back then. Nate Dogg had to be off that honey
All he
pack.
needed was that brown. All he needed was that yak. He had some Hennessy. That's all. And some weed. That's it. That's all Dogg needed.
Peace, Nate.
For you, Goldie, I'm curious, when he ends up going to jail for as long, he was in prison for 10.5 years, like you said. Did you kind of feel like shit? Because you guys were moving together. You guys are known as the Eastsiders. Like, how did you kind of maneuver throughout that time of him being gone? And like, did you ever lose any sort of motivation to do the music like full time, or?
Nah, not really. It just kept moving. Just keeping the brand alive, and getting the merchandise going, and just start doing different things. And just getting some time out. You know what I mean, to reflect on everything, and and just keeping everything moving as much as I can, social wise. You know what I'm saying, and just trying to keep everything moving. I still stayed active with Snoop.
Yeah.
We did the War Zone project, MCA Cam. You know what I'm saying? Then I did a overseas joint with the dubstep music. So we just...
You was doing dubstep shit?
Yeah, I did a whole project with Dogg.
What?
You know what I mean? So
Like, you talking about the EDM shit?
yeah, man, they called Dogg and say, hey, man, that dude Goldie, man, we need him.
You're rapping over dubstep.
Man, I did a whole project.
Hey, did you go tour that kind of shit overseas?
I should have.
Because they
And still probably could. They waiting on me right now.
You go over there to
Get
them
your
raves.
ass out
You
there,
know what
boy,
I'm
get
saying?
that dough.
Them
You
raves
know?
are wild, bro.
Yeah, man, but just stay doing all kind of different things to stay motivated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And wait for D to touch down so we can do what we do.
Are you, obviously, I feel like we're in this kind of dope moment of West Coast music where we just got, Kendrick Lamar's got the biggest song of the year. Tyler, the Creator's got the #1 song in the country. You guys just dropped, Dog Pound just dropped, YG dropped this year. We have this Missionary album coming out.
That's gonna be huge.
Which is gonna be big. I'm just curious, how excited are you guys for everybody to finally hear this Missionary album? Because I know that Snoop had a listening session last week or the week before. I wasn't in town, but I'm hearing it's amazing.
Dope.
Mm-hmm. Do y'all feel like this is is back in LA now?
2000 all over again. That's what it feel like to me.
Yeah.
All over again.
Yeah, Dre invited me up there to hear the album. I saw him at the Olympics when they did the closing ceremony in Long Beach. So he told me to come put my ear on it, and he went there sonically. You know what I mean? And it's a diverse project. It's a mature project. And Dre is always evolving as a producer. So Dogg trusted him to give him the soundscape of where he's seen him at musically, and I think it worked.
For sure.
I think it worked for both of them,
Hey, we're about to kick off another interview brought to you by Hardin. That's right. If you're in Vegas, it's the #1 dispensary in the country, the craziest selection of premium cannabis. And all you got to do is shoot them a follow, Hardin_Las Vegas, HardinLasVegas.com. When you're in Vegas, tell them I sent you. Let's get into the interview. Hey, Odd Socks, our longest standing sponsor, our brothers. First of all, I want to give love to our family at Odd Socks, dealing with the remnants still of the 2 hurricanes that hit the Tampa area. Our Odd Socks family, they are located in the Tampa area. Look, this is what we're doing, man. You get 20% off all of the Odd Socks, the most comfortable socks in the world. Yes. Whatever you're into, they got. You just saw some Scarface, some South Park. How about some Mountain Dew, Baja Blast? These are fucking fire. Man, Office Space. They got all the crazy licenses, Jurassic Park. We can keep going on and on and on. My favorite, honestly, if I'm just keeping a buck, are just the basics, though. Just the basic socks. They're just so comfortable, man. They're the best, all right? So look, if you want the most comfortable socks in the world, and let's also throw on some of the most comfortable draws in the world, why not? Let's see what these look like. Huh? Little G.I. Joes? Ooh. I ain't mad at the G.I. Joe draws. Listen, oddsocksofficial.com. I need y'all to use that promo code, Bootleg, right now. Save 20% off at checkout. Great gifts. And honestly, throw out all your other socks and just get 2 or 3 packs of Odd Socks Basics. I promise you, you're going to thank me later. Let's get back to the interview. Yo, Trady, I wanted to ask you because you've had you're how much fans do you have that come up to you in public that only know you from your interviews? Because your Vlad interviews go pretty crazy.
Right.
So there's probably people who just come up to you because they saw you talking online. Is that a new thing for you to have this whole other fan base that might not necessarily be hip to the Eastsiders?
I encounter different people here and there who would say that, and I know that's where they know me from because you can look at them and tell they don't listen to the Eastsiders or gangster rap. Well, you could guess that they probably wouldn't. And it's good. It's good that people appreciate my perspective on things, me being who I am, because I don't try to be politically correct or know it all or nothing like that. I just speak from the heart about different things that we discuss. And we had a pretty good run, 4 or 5 years, sitting up, discussing the latest and things like that. So I think that helped people get to know my personality, as outside of just music,
Right.
outside of my bars. So it helped. It worked. And, I'm not really out there like that in the streets moving around for a lot of people to see me and approach me. I really just come out when it's time to make a move or get some dough.
You also, I follow you. I've been following you for some years on Instagram.
Right.
And you work out a lot.
Yeah.
You be fucking jacked, like doing the fucking prison workouts in the backyard and shit, dog. Like that shit be having me motivated as fuck.
That's
I be
good
like,
shit.
I be like, damn, Trady. I don't know how old you are, but I'm 37.
Right.
But I'm like, man, if Trady could be out here fucking getting it in, looking like a goddamn rock, I need to figure my shit out. Are you with him on the fitness, or are you do you slack?
I'll be at the house with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be at the house with it here and
So you work out too,
here and there.
here and there, but not like him.
I just move around.
Nah, because this guy, he's documenting
he get his
shit.
burpees. He get his burpees in.
He's on the program still.
And it's in
I get my
order to
curl on.
motivate.
Yeah.
I get my curl on. I do certain things here and there when I feel I gotta tighten them up. He stay on it though. I used to be on that shit too all the time, my brother.
Yeah, I seen the dumbbells in the man cave when
know.
we came out there fucking around.
Don't get it twisted. We still benching and hitting. We still pushing that line.
Yeah.
I do feel like there are a few guys like in like the landscape of West Coast history who get a little slept on, and I think Cocaine's one of them. Butch Cassidy's one of them. Butch Cassidy is on the new project.
Mm-hmm. He is.
I think he's been on some just classics, especially with Snoop. What was it like kind of getting back with him and making sure he was included on the new EP?
We were all in the studio recording, and he was doing his solo project then. And Snoop was playing us some tracks. And had you left that day, Goldie? Or was you still there?
I was still there working on another song.
But you had to leave. I think you had to go have some business with your
I had to
son or
dip.
something.
It was his birthday party.
Exactly. So Snoop played that track, that Gangsta Fire track, and I had just seen Butch Cassidy walk out the room and go back to his session, and I was like, he has to get on this song.
Right.
If I'm fucking with this track, and I am, I'm like, nah, we got to. What studio he in? He in the Starship? Butch, come on down here. I said, yeah, title of the track, Gangsta 5, man, do your thing.
Do what you want. Yeah.
And he did his thing. That's like that, and that October London song. It just the vibe of those songs, kind of like take me there. So it was dope.
And then Butch, he cousins with Nate Dogg. They come from the same church.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah, they come from the same church.
First cousins.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Yo, how fun was it shooting the I Love It music video?
Yeah, that was fun.
Because that is one of the, that's a legendary video. Y'all got, how fun was that day?
Man, I don't even know when I caught up with you, Goldie. I think
That shit was fun.
I think I came with a couple of homies, and we parked on the other side, and we were just seeing all the activity and everything. We was a little bit late, but he had Gary Coleman, rest in peace,
It was all
out there.
that video was crazy.
Yeah, and he was doing all these different characters and shit, and that's when I found out I couldn't run 50 yards full speed with the football.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Say,
we was
cut
out
it
there
right
having fun,
here,
though.
and when I
That shit was
spin, bring it back in. So, yeah, we had a ball, though, man. It was just having, the comedic side of everything, and then, having such a good song, a feel-good song, and a feel-good video with it. I think that helped propel us to where we went, double platinum.
Great record, yeah.
Peace and
That's your
blessings
biggest
to all
record,
the
right? Was that
fans.
bigger than
I think
Cheetah?
that was the big.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest.
I love it was big, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get your guys' take because we have I feel like sometimes when we think about West Coast hip hop, we always kind of forget to include Tyler the Creator in those conversations. Mm-hmm. And he's like a part of this new generation of kids who grew up in LA but don't necessarily sound like traditional West Coast gangster rap.
Gotcha.
I just wonder what are your guys' take on a guy like Tyler who's fuck, man, when it's all said and done, he might be on that Mount Rushmore next to Snoop and Cube and those guys. What do you guys think about Tyler? Are you guys fans? You guys ever
Yeah, He dope. I fucks with it.
New music. I gravitate to the more prominent songs that's out there, you know, and I'm not really regional in my taste of music. You know, I bump some South shit, I bump some East Coast shit, I bump all that shit. So as far as being into Tyler, Creator as an artist, I'm very aware of who he is, but his music, I haven't locked in on him as an artist to be able to even critique.
Right.
You know.
That's fair.
haven't. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. You know, I ain't gonna sit there and act like, you know, oh yeah, that motherfucker, you know. I'm not gonna do that.
There was this list that came out that B-Dot did. He broke down like the top 10 West Coast albums of all time. And I think I forget who he had as number one. Was it The Chronic? He had The Chronic as number one. Doggy Style as number two, I think. I did my own, and I put Doggy Style as number one because I think it's just like, again, Doggy Style and everything else. It's really like, for me, with everything, you know. But what are your guys' top 3 West Coast albums, each of y'all, all time?
On you, Long.
Get your tray off. I'm thinking.
West Coast all time, definitely The Chronic. America's Most Wanted. And All Eyes on Me.
I respect it. No Doggy Style.
The Chronic.
Interesting. No. You picked your 3. Now it's your turn.
The Chronic.
Chronic for sure. NWA.
Which album?
Which one?
Man, all that shit to be fair. I grew up on all that stuff.
Niggas for life.
But man, damn man. And
just say Doggy Style. It's Doggy Style. What are we doing here, guys?
yeah, Doggy Style.
For fuck's sake.
Doggy Style. Yeah, Doggy Style. Gotta go with Doggy Style.
All right. I respect the America's Most Wanted choice. I put Death Certificate over America's Most Wanted, but I understand why America's Most Wanted is your pick. It's a great album. Classic.
Right, no, it is.
Went to the East Coast, worked with those producers, changed up all kind of shit. Like,
yeah, I mean, you broaden the sound. When you take the sound somewhere, it's like what we did with Deuces and Trays. You know what I mean? We showed that we were beyond just
the
a
regional
local act. You know what I mean? And we could trade bars with Prodigy and, you know, other
100%.
artists of that caliber, you know, Havoc and things like that. So, you know, the elevation and the evolution, it always impresses me in music.
Yeah, well, listen,
and originality.
We're in a great time because Ice Cube just dropped, Snoop's dropping, you guys just dropped. We got a new Dog Pound album this year. Exhibit's on the way, or is
he just dropped some shit.
Okay,
yeah.
shout to X.
Yeah.
It just feels like the West Coast is back.
2000 all
OGs
over.
are back.
2000 all over again, Playboy.
Y'all got to do a new Cali is Active, like 2024, with a new video. Cause think about it, the old were you locked up when Cali is Active came out? You saw the music video. It was like everybody and their mom from LA was in that motherfucker.
True.
Except you, obviously. But 2024. Let's plant that seed in Snoop's head. Like, yo, Cali
It's coming.
2024.
But give me a napkin, bud.
It's coming.
I know it's hot as shit in here. Turn the AC on.
And you're about to see it in the shows too, like the concerts and stuff. We pulling it all the way around.
I'm assuming, yeah. I mean, look, y'all, man, Snoop been on the road so much doing his thing. Well, look, I appreciate y'all. The new EP is out right now. Go support it. Still Easty. Any videos on the way?
3.
I know you guys already.
There's 3 of them.
I'm about to say, I just watched one today. So, is there anything that isn't out yet that you guys already shot?
No. We pretty much just dropped everything as a as a package deal. We back. Here go 3 videos. Here go the EP. Wait on the whole thing because it's coming.
There it is, man.
You know what I mean?
Eastsiders, appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you,
Sure.
Bootleg. Yeah.
Boom.